It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 Dick, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Mr. Robby, how's it going, sir?
Good. How are you, Damien?
Hey, not bad. Hey, I know you had maybe some times where you had no sponsors on the car and stuff. How are you looking at for next year as far as like sponsorship-wise, and you think you're going to be set to have something full-time all next year?
Well, I think, right now, next year looks a lot like it did this year, where we got sporadic events, so there is opportunity. Obviously, sponsors and everybody wants to be involved with a team that can win races, and I look at this weekend as an opportunity of putting our team in victory lane, and there's only been, 3 teams this year that have been in victory lane, so if we can pull it off, that'd be big. Now, you say it looks kind of like sporadic for next year, but I mean, how long can you keep going like that? I mean, you can't keep doing this out of your own pocket, can you? Well, Damien, I don't do it out of my own pocket. That's the first thing there, and I appreciate the interest on it. But if I had to pay a driver, I'd probably be in trouble. But because I am the driver and the owner, we can do a little bit of give and take and get through like we're doing now.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And now we'll hear from Kerry Murphy with Final Lap Radio.
Hey, Robby, thanks for being on. I've got a question about your thoughts on the race at Montreal. Did you think the racing, probably watching on TV, was good with the rain tires? And if that scenario presents itself this weekend, do you think it'll be fun?
Well, I was kicking myself last weekend watching that because I do enjoy the racing in the rain so much. It would have been a lot of fun. I think we were well prepared for that. We've done a lot of rain racing in the past, so our road race car, the Busch or the Nationwide Series car has defrosters, has windshield wipers, has all the stuff we would have needed for that event. So that's kind of a bummer we weren't there, but we were really trying to put all of our focus on this Jim Beam weekend here at Watkins Glen. We're running both the Nationwide car and the Cup car.
Well, you might have your shot because scattered showers are in the forecast, so good luck.
Yeah, it looks like 40% right now for Saturday, so that'll be interesting.
And we'll now move to Claire Lang with XM Satellite Radio.
Thank you. Robby, could you talk about Watkins Glen? So many people look at what happened at Montreal and the course there, and if they're fans who don't follow road course racing, they kind of lump them all together. But to people like you, they're way different. Talk us through Watkins Glen this weekend.
Well, first, I don't understand what you mean by that because, it looked to me like everybody enjoyed it. I think the biggest problem they had was the window fogging up. The fans, they put up their umbrellas and they went for it. I mean, there's definitely some true fans there in Canada, and they were very supportive of the event.
Can you talk about the course itself at Watkins Glen?
Yeah, Watkins is a good place for us. I look forward to going to Watkins every year. It's equal to me. It doesn't make a difference if it's Sonoma or Watkins. I think my results are about the same on both of them. Hopefully we don't run ourselves out of fuel here at Watkins, and we put ourselves in a position to time the pit stops right. And if we do, I think we got a legitimate shot at winning.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
And now we'll go to David Caravello with NASCAR.com.
Hey, Robby, thanks for being on. We heard a lot last week at Pocono about the argument between Carl Edwards and his crew chief, and I wanted to ask you. I mean, it's not uncommon at all for drivers and crew chiefs to argue over the radio, but is it true that's not necessarily a reflection of what their relationship is really like, and a lot of times that stuff ends as soon as the race is over?
Well, I'm not familiar with Carl's arguing with the crew chief or not. All I know is at the end of the day, together they won that race, and they've done a really good job. Obviously, Carl's doing a good job driving, and the crew chief is doing a good job as well. So their chemistry, you never know how it is. One thing, drivers and crew chiefs, we argue at times. Doesn't mean that we don't like each other after the conversation or after the argument.
Thanks, Robby.
Thanks.
As a reminder, that is *1 to ask a question. Next, we'll hear from Robert DeRogi with BRD Broadcasting.
Thank you. Robby, here in Michigan, there have been numerous reports that General Motors has talked about pulling out of NASCAR, and now there are rumors that even Chrysler might be pulling out. I'll be honest with you, I never thought, I've been covering NASCAR for a long time, I never thought I'd even see this day, but since you drive a Dodge, what would that do with your situation?
Well, you know, I got to be honest. I mean, you hear all these rumors, and I think at the end of the day, that's all they are at this time of day until it's factual. You know, GM just did a program with Tony Stewart to expand to another NASCAR team. So I think, you know, you just got to be careful about the rumors out there and just take it one day at a time. You know, I think NASCAR has survived, and the automobile manufacturers have a good understanding that, you know, the sport is. We have a lot of fans out there, and those fans, they buy automobiles, and our cars do resemble the cars that you can buy on the street. So, you know, it's just rumors at this point in time and day.
Thank you very much for your honesty. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
And we'll now hear from Brant James with St. Petersburg Times.
Hey, Robbie, how you doing?
Good. How you doing today?
Good, thank you. I was wondering, do drivers who come from open wheel or sports car backgrounds have any advantage on road courses, or does that get negated just in a different kind of car in NASCAR?
Well, I think in the beginning, you know, people used to think that made a difference, but the drivers, you know, throughout the last couple of years, and I'm going to go back even as far as 10 years, they started to put a lot of effort into their road racing, because it's one of the 36 races, or two of the 36 races, and if you run the nationwide car as well, you know, it could be 4. So there's a lot of good road racers. I mean, Mark Martin's been a phenomenal road racer for as long as I can remember. I teamed up with him in the late 80s, and we won the 24 Hours of Daytona together. So, you know, I think obviously Ron Fellows winning in the rain, how you say, a normal traditional road race driver probably has some experience or some experience advantage in rain situations. But if you go back and you look at what's happened last 8 years in Cup races, you know, it's been a NASCAR regular that's won all these races.
Is it harder for a person to go from an oval background to a road course, or someone from a road course background to primarily ovals?
I think it's probably as difficult each direction. The biggest thing on the oval is, you know, back off early, get it into the corner, and then get back on the gas. It's similar to how I run the road races as well. You know, I try to roll the middle as fast as I can, and I think you know, that's helped me on the road courses. But you know, the short ovals I normally run pretty good at, so it seems like that works there too.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we'll now hear from Ryan Burr with ESPN.
Hey, Robbie, two-part question for you. Are you committed to running a second car next year? And if yes, would you consider Scott Riggs, who looks like he'll be out of a job?
Well, I think Scott Riggs is a very good race car driver. We'll start there. Committed to running a second car. You know, we'd love to run a second car, and I think our team and our facility and our systems and procedures and policies, all that stuff is in place now to run a second car. You know, we still haven't won with one car, but this weekend's race hasn't happened yet either. So, you know, it's important to make one car run good first, and we've been able to stay inside the top 35. But you know, at the same time, we'd like to position ourselves to win races. I think, you know, a second car is going to help in that, though, because we're going to find solutions for our problems faster. And I think Scott's a good race car driver, so that's obviously something that I would look at. Obviously, the thing out there is who's going to pay for it, how are you going to do it, and what sponsors are going to be involved in it.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thank you.
We'll now hear from Rusty Baldwin with NASCAR Media Group.
Yes, Robbie, again, thanks for joining us. My question is this. We see a lot of altercations at short tracks and road courses, which my question would be, do you go into the road course race with the same mindset that you do a short track? You kind of got to leave your feelings at the door.
Well, you know, the competition's so close, especially with the car tomorrow the way it is today. You know, the cars are pretty equal, so sometimes you gotta take a hole. If there's a hole there, you gotta take it. And you know, sometimes two cars get together. Obviously, you know, short track racing and road racing is probably similar because the speeds are down low in the middle of the corner. But you know, it's I think any race right now is tough to win, and I think the competition's close.